Good morning, good afternoon, good evening.
Hello.
Whenever you are listening and wherever you are, this is Fit Disney, helping you make sure your Disney resort is a good fit for you and your family. Today we are on location at Walt Disney World's Wilderness Lodge. Wilderness Lodge. Drink it in. Okay, I'm going to try not to play favorites because I love all the Disney resorts, but this, for me, is my favorite. It isn't the majestic 7-story atrium of solid wood, modeled after the great national park lodges of the West, and it's not the 82-foot tall fireplace or the intricate animals carved into the totems next to the bubbling indoor hydrothermal mud pot replica that flows outside to a larger-than-life geyser by the lake. It's not the music on loop, playing Aaron Copland and the soundtracks to three of my favorite movies, Dances with Wolves, Tombstone, and The Last of the Mohicans. It's not the precise attention to detail, the feeling you are a continent away from Orlando, the bourbon selection at Territory Lounge, or the food at Geyser Point. It's not being able to walk out your hotel room door, down a dock, and into Magic Kingdom in 10 minutes. It's all of it. And as lovers of Glacier and Yellowstone and Yosemite National Parks, we get a little bit of that nostalgia each time we arrive. It's the only Disney resort that brings tears to my eyes every time I walk in. Before Disney's Wilderness Lodge was built, the property was largely undeveloped. Pine forested land located near Disney's Fort Wilderness Resort and Campground. And for many years, the area was simply an empty tract of wilderness considered an unbuilt Disney project, most notably a rustic destination called Cypress Point Lodge. Some of the vision of this area of the property included, of course, the Contemporary Resort, the Polynesian, and Fort Wilderness. But even Disney doesn't always execute its vision, and from this vision map of the property, we have not seen the Asian Resort, the Venetian Resort, the Persian Resort. We did see Discovery Island for a time until it shut down abruptly in 1999. And nestled between Fort Wilderness, the Contemporary, and near these lovely sailboats became the site of Wilderness Lodge. The lodge was built in 1994, making it roughly the 13th of the 20-something resorts, and just after the 1980s Epcot area boom, and just before the villas and DVC add-ons of the early 2000s. The Boulder Ridge building became a DVC destination as a new building in 2001, and 16 years later, Wilderness upgraded the Copper Creek wing into DVC rooms and opened some of the nicest accommodations at Disney anywhere, the Cascade Cabins on the shores of Bay Lake. There are somewhere between 695 and 728 rooms at Wilderness, but who's counting? I seriously want to know who counts the rooms at Disney. I can never find an exact number. There was a website that said there were over 1,000 rooms here. It is surprisingly hard to nail down exact numbers of rooms at Disney resorts, but a lot of rooms can be combined into one room or split into multiple rooms, and either way, Wilderness is on the lower side of total rooms compared to other Disney resorts, but there are many options within this one resort, depending on what your family needs. Standard studios, 1 and 2 bedroom suites, and those lakeside cabins will surely meet your needs. Wilderness Lodge is built on close to 100 acres, so for comparison's sake, Magic Kingdom is just over 100 acres, which shows you how much of this property is green space, a fitting design for a resort geared to lock in your outdoorsiness. Also, think of how this Magic Kingdom-sized property isn't bursting with rooms, and you have a very nice density of rooms on the property. Only the massive Fort Wilderness and the sprawling Old Key West resort with its canals have a less dense guest room per acre ratio. If we zoom out and view these 25,000 acres of the Walt Disney World Resort from a bird's eye view, let's move the theme parks into view and then all of the Disney resorts. You can see how the Wilderness Lodge is a Magic Kingdom area resort. It's not on the monorail loop as are the Contemporary, Grand Floridian, and Polynesian. Instead, you have direct boat service to the Magic Kingdom, and you can take buses to the other parks. Of course, you can take the boat to Magic Kingdom, then backtrack on the monorail to the transportation center and hop another monorail to Epcot. But don't do that if you're trying to get to Epcot in a reasonable amount of time. The bus is actually much faster. Your love for themed Disney resorts and feeling like you're nestled in some great Western lodge may be great for some, but remember that all of the resorts have their pros and cons, so ensure the Wilderness Lodge is a good fit for you and your family. Looking at a map of Wilderness Lodge, there are a few distinct areas. First, obviously, we have Bay Lake. The Wilderness is actually a stone's throw away from the Contemporary, although you can't really see the Contemporary due to the strategic island and room view placements. The dock here extends into the lake for a quick boat ride over to the Magic Kingdom. And the main entrance is here under a beautiful covered valet drop-off area and leads into the gorgeous lobby. The main lodge wings are mirror images, with this wing hosting the concierge level, the 7th floor Old Faithful Club. On the opposing side, we have the Copper Creek DVC villas, from studios up to 3-bedroom grand villas. The luxurious Cascade cabins on the lakeshore on either side of the lodge. And there are plenty of dining options here, where the stars are. Do not miss Geyser Point, the outdoor lakeside sit-down restaurant with a tasty collection of menu items and cocktails. There's also the Territory Lounge to grab a drink in an authentic American West saloon, Whispering Canyon for a fun family-centered dining experience, and storybook dining at Artist Point with Snow White and at least one of the dwarves. Both the Boulder Ridge and Copper Creek have large pool areas, with the Copper Creek being a little more family-friendly. They have some water features for the little ones or the non-swimmers. And finally, the Sturdy Branches Gym can be found on the first floor of the Boulder Ridge building. As far as fitness centers go, there is one, and it is located in the Boulder Ridge DVC building. Sturdy Branches Gym sits on the first floor, and it's just a short walk from the main lodge building. Key card locked, but open 24 hours a day, as all Disney Resort gyms are. You must be 14 to use the gym. If you're 14 to 17, you must be accompanied by a legal guardian. The gym has life fitness machines, stair climbers, stationary bikes, treadmills, ellipticals. There are cruncher racks and a self-spotting bench system for presses and squats, a cable machine for full body workouts, and between 7:30 a.m. and 10 p.m., a sauna. Now, a sauna, it's just what I would want after hiking around Geyser Basins and Grand Prismatic in Yellowstone, or Grinnell Lake in Glacier, or Half Dome in Yosemite, or you get the point. There's also a matted area here with a large rack of dumbbells, large exercise balls, medicine balls, and a welcoming front desk area with water and cold towels. The gym has some nice views out into the Boulder Ridge courtyard. If you're at the Wilderness, you just might want to get out and explore a little bit, right? And just to stick with the adventurous theme of the place, there's a couple of jogging or walking loops that can get you a half mile, 1 mile, or 2.5 miles on property, or a quick jaunt over to Fort Wilderness. The 1/2 mile loop keeps you on the Boulder Ridge side of the resort, circling around the pool, down by the Cascade cabins on the lake, and back on a wide sidewalk in front of the Boulder Ridge building. Now, there is no official 1 mile run walk here, unless you want to do the 1/2 mile loop twice, but I mean, boring. So I have put together a 1 mile loop here so that you don't have to figure that out. Start here by exiting the main lodge at the end of this hallway and walk out to the Cascade cabins and start down at the very first one, 8001. Walk along the cabins here to the boardwalk, which goes out to the dock, and then by the edge of the kiddie pool, and you're by the Copper Creek pool area and right by the geyser. Soon, you'll be lakeside and in front of Geyser Point Restaurant, which will tempt you to stop, and I won't judge you if you do. But if you keep heading along, you're going to head towards the new Lakeshore Lodge along the Cascade cabins up to 8026 to the very end of the trail. Turn back and head along the sidewalk in front of the Boulder Ridge to the crossroads here and turn left and jaunt around the bus depot here. Then, just safely cross the road, keep along the sidewalk, cross the other side of the road and into this little employee parking area. And here we have this lovely little boardwalk that takes you back out to where we started along the Cascade Cabins walkway. And there you have it, 1 mile. If you want to do more than that, as mentioned, there is a 2.5 mile walk, run loop as well that heads over to Fort Wilderness. And you could parlay the 1 mile loop we showed you into that Fort Wilderness loop and turn it into a 3.5 mile loop. It's always worth mentioning that many of the Disney resorts have interior corridors. The Magic Kingdom resorts, which are all deluxe resorts, plus the Dolphin and Swan, Boardwalk, the Beach and Yacht Clubs, the Riviera, Animal Kingdom Lodge, Gran Destino Tower at the Coronado, and if you're just walking, because we don't advocate jogging inside at Disney resorts, you can log a ton of miles by walking a hallway, taking the stairs up or down to the next floor, and walking back, etc. This is particularly nice in those horrid summers, thunderstorms, or if you're saving your feet from the hard pavement outside. If you're a stair climber, which is a fantastic exercise, you can also utilize the indoor stairwells to walk up to the highest floor and back down. The only caution I would give is before you exit into a stairwell, be sure you can re-enter the hallway. You may need your key card, or you might have to go all the way to the bottom floor to get back into the building. It's just a heads up. This may or may not have happened to me at the Contemporary. If you've seen our other Fit Disney videos, you know we try to add a little challenge in for each resort, so here is your Wilderness Lodge challenge. Run or walk all 3 of the loops that we showed you here. You can do it all in one day or spread it out however you like. It's only 4 miles total, so not that crazy, right? Now, most Disney resorts are in clusters. There is the Contemporary, Polynesian, Grand Floridian, and Wilderness around Magic Kingdom. The Skyliner route has the Riviera, Caribbean Beach, Pop Century, and the Art of Animation. Disney Springs has Old Key West, Port Orleans, and Saratoga Springs. And Epcot has the Beach and Yacht Clubs, Boardwalk, the Dolphin, and Swan. And just so you have an idea of where the Wilderness sits in relation to other Disney resorts, let's give you an idea of how far it is to travel from the Wilderness to some of the other lovely Disney resorts. From the Wilderness to the Polynesian Resort, it's just 1.2 miles or 1.92 kilometers. To the Contemporary, 1.6 miles or 2.56 kilometers. To the Grand Floridian, it's 1.8 miles or 2.88 kilometers. And to Fort Wilderness, 2 miles, 3.2 kilometers. If you want to head down to the Swan, it's 3.9 miles or 6.24 kilometers. To Coronado Springs, 4 miles, 6.4 kilometers. To the Boardwalk, 4.3 miles, or also to the Dolphin, 4.3 miles, which is 6.88 kilometers. If you want to go to Port Orleans, particularly to the French Quarter, it's 4.4 miles or 7.04 kilometers. To the Yacht or Beach Club, 4.7 miles or 7.52 kilometers. If you want to go to either the Riviera or the Old Key West, it's 4.9 miles, 7.84 kilometers. To the Caribbean Beach, 5.3 miles, which is 8.48 kilometers. Now, if you want to go to Disney Springs or Saratoga Springs, both of them are 5.5 miles or 8.8 kilometers away. Heading now south to the Art of Animation, 5.6 miles, which is 8.96 kilometers. The ESPN Zone, 5.9 miles or 9.44 kilometers. Pop Century is 6.2 miles or 9.92 kilometers. To the All-Star Music, 6.5 miles, 10.4 kilometers. And finally, to the Animal Kingdom Lodge, all the way down there, 7.4 miles or 11.84 kilometers. Let me leave now with a few overall impressions of the Wilderness Lodge. To me, it is the most feels like you're not in Florida Disney resort that there is. And I've heard it said that the Animal Kingdom Lodge and the Polynesian are similar in this regard, and that's true, but even those two give you some tropical or subtropical vibes, which are relatable in Florida. The Wilderness gives you remote, high-end, alpine adventure world somewhere far away. As far as resort perks go, I would say the Wilderness for me is voted best all around, even if it doesn't take first place in every category. I mean, dining, it's maybe not quite up there with Animal Kingdom Lodge, but it is damn good. Location to a theme park, you're not walking in the park like you can at the Contemporary into Magic Kingdom or the Beach Club into Epcot. but the boat is quick and dumps you out right up front at Main Street. It's going to cost you a few bucks to stay at the Wilderness Lodge, but it's not in the same stratosphere as some of the contemporary boardwalk or Polynesian room prices. The pools and the arcade and other outdoor adventure stuff is great for kids. I mean, there's a freaking geyser that goes off on the hour, 120 feet in the air, making it more faithful even than Old Faithful. The theme and the design are staggering. The location is almost perfect. The size and density and dining options, yeah, it could be my best all-around Disney resort easily. I would definitely consider Wilderness Lodge to be a first-timer resort. So if you're bringing someone who may be new to Disney, maybe they're a little skeptical, maybe you want to get them real close to Disney but worried they may get Disneyed out too quickly at some of the other spots, bring them here. Most people are happy just wandering around this place. It is one of the best introductory Disney resorts for your Disney guests who are visiting for the first time. So remember, take all of this into account. Make sure your Disney resort is a good fit for you and your family. Take care, and we will see you next time.